can hear people again.
The Death Star is fully operational. Let us begin.
Why does it keep happening to you, Atin?
I don't know!
Hello, Internet! This is Fanfiction, Contempt Theater 9002, episode 94. We are in the death spiral of this series. But, you know, it is Friday the 13th, and I felt, since we can't read, horror and have it actually be horrifying, that we can do the next best thing.
This trash.
Well, I was gonna say we can do the next best thing to reading horror, and that's reading shit that horrifies us.
Gamers rise up.
Exactly.
No, gamers, stay home. Eat another bag of Doritos. Rising up isn't worth it. Just look at Hong Kong.
So all I'm saying is, come on, there we go.
We stand with the Hong Kong protesters here, sir.
I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying in order to stand with them, I have to go outside.
In order to stand with them, I have to rise up.
So I just emptied half a bottle of whiskey into my cup. Let's fucking do this.
Bladder.
No, it's still in his cup.
For now. This is gonna hit me hard. Holy shit. I don't think you guys understand. I have a half-liter cup.
Oh, dude, I understand. I got drunk as fuck last night, and I taught Jeff Keighley what happens when you give me a semblance of power.
Oh no,
Who's
750 milliliter cup.
Jeff Keighley, the Doritos Pope?
Can't say that I'm familiar with the Doritos Pope.
What?
No. But anyway, so we got a full house tonight, which will make up for the fact that
Why does Twitch keep... Oh my god, Twitch, I do not care that it's the 8-month sub anniversary. Piss off.
Oh, Twitch. It wants people to know about your relationship.
Yeah.
Listen, the only relationship I have with Sneaky is the one where booze mysteriously appears in my room.
Yes. We'll just keep it at that. Anyway, so,
Okay, you just made it sound way sketchier.
What? Me? Making things sketchy? What? No, that doesn't happen. More than twice a week. Anyway, so, the real cream of the cringe that's the stuff I want to pick up tonight and read to everyone here. So,
We're reading Tales Gets Trolled?
No, we're not.
Oh. That's a good one.
Oh, what the fucking shit? Okay, anyway. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with, oh, there's so many good ones to cringe here of. But you know what? Because I saw the word whirlpool, we're gonna do Naruto Ruby in honor of Orpheus.
Oh,
every
boy.
time.
Just for you, Mr. Morpheus.
Listen, if we aren't making you suffer when you come on this show, we just aren't doing our job right.
Exactly, it's what I'm paid to do.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it suffering, but okay.
I mean, this is just a reminder that this story, by the way, is 1.4K favorites, so it is more popular than anything you've ever written.
I've read this one, or at least I started reading it. It's terrible.
Oh.
Absolutely terrible.
Oh, good. That's exactly
boy.
what I want to hear from a guy who's written some of the absolute shittiest shit I've ever fucking read. By read, I mean actually read. I mean, like, I actually read his stories. Like, I didn't drop them, I actually read them. So...
They're just good enough to make you think that it's gonna get...
Oh my god, that was probably the most disappointing thing I've ever done before, is I read this one Naruto story. It was 500,000 words long, and I read the entire fucking thing, thinking, okay, maybe next chapter is when it starts to get good. And it never got good. And I finished the story. It was a completed story, and I finished it, and I was at the end, and I left the author a review saying, I have never been more disappointed in my life, because I kept hitting next chapter hoping it would be good, and it kept not being good, and now I've finished your story, and I'm still sitting here going, what the fuck have I done with my life?
Made
Maybe the sequel will be
$25 a month.
Oh, he did write a sequel. No, see, the thing is that it was just some stupid ass Naruto story. He gets he unlocks some OP power or whatever. I don't fucking remember it. It like horrible, horrendous fucking grammar, just god awful shit that you see on this show. Like he used capitals for emphasis. It was bad. But I remember the two plot lines in it. Is Naruto at one point wanted power, so he went to this underground cavern with a river flowing through it and sacrificed Hinata in a ritual.
Oh
What
no,
the
is it that? Oh no, is it the?
Oh no, do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm pretty sure that was one of the ones that came up during one of our late night, just like, what the fuck are we doing? I can read fanfiction summaries. Okay, Sneaky. You do that.
No, this was this is like about 250k words in. But then the other
Wasn't there a story that started like that?
Yes. The story you're thinking of is when Naruto was doing a sealing ritual that he tricked Hinata into that allowed Kushina to possess Hinata, who then fell in love with Naruto.
I mean, it's not hard to trick Hinata with that extra chromosome.
Why must you be nice? Why must you be mean to her? She's done nothing wrong. Just be nice.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know why authors go to the trouble of being like tricking Hinata into something evil. She'd probably do it if Naruto asked her.
Oh no!
Hinata.
That was actually the plot. But why am I just having a massive sense of deja vu with a fucking massive mug of whiskey in front of me?
Oh, dude, I mean, if
Possibly
any of the Naruto characters do
Have
evil,
I
it's
done
Hinata.
this before?
And
I can't remember.
twice
Maybe having
every
deja
week
vu
for the last
because
2
of
years.
whiskey.
You've done.
No, I have not drunk a liter of whiskey out of a giant mug before, as far as I can recall. But it's entirely possible that I've just blacked out and have removed that section from my memory. No, I do not black out twice a week. No, I've only blacked out twice over the past 3 years.
Extraordinarily drunk, but somehow he doesn't black out. I'll give him that.
It took 2 liters of vodka in 2 hours to make me black out.
And blackout you did.
I mean, I didn't even throw up. I literally, from what I could deduce after I woke up,
because you just went unconscious.
yeah, I straight up brushed my teeth, turned off the computer, and found my way into bed.
I mean, that's not hard. What up, Birdie?
Well, it is when you're blackout drunk.
I mean, not successfully finding your way to a bed that was what, 50 feet from you?
No, you don't. You can ask Max. I have literally fallen asleep on the floor before.
Sneaky, I know. That's because you're an idiot.
Yes. But
also, you were probably extraordinarily delirious at the time.
Anyway, my point being is that that was actually what happened, Orpheus. Is that he went to Hinata and said, Hinata, I need a virginal, innocent soul to sacrifice in this ritual that will make me stronger. Will you be that sacrifice? And Hinata said yes.
She probably got off on it.
It's possible. But that was one of the plot points that I remember from that story. The other one that will forever stick in my memory is the Elemental Swords arc.
Oh, that I remember that.
Where at the end of this arc, no, this is all fanon, my dude. At
I'm saying I think I remember reading.
It's possible. It was a popular story for some fuck all reason. So Naruto was collecting these swords throughout the entire story, and near the end of the story, he collected the fourth of fifth swords. The fifth sword's void or some stupid shit. And by collecting all four of the elemental swords, he unlocked their personality souls, and then they dragged them into a Bleach mindscape, and they were
were they all girls? And were they added to his harem?
Yes.
You don't get a prize for guessing it. That's like managing to write out 2 + 2 on a math test.
And then as he's talking with them about the fifth sword and why he has to watch out for the fifth sword, and the fifth sword's actually a guy, and he's evil, and he can turn these swords evil too if he touches them. Naruto gets attacked by the guy wielding the fifth sword, and he loses 2 of the swords, and he runs away. But he, just finished telling all of the swords all of his secrets and weaknesses. And that's where the story ends, at 500,000 words, is the fifth guy picking up these 2 swords, his sword being "Woo! You're evil now!" And then their eyes, their soul eyes glowed, and then they were "Yes, we are now evil and shit. Let us tell you all of Naruto's secrets." And then the author finishes that chapter with, "It's see you guys in part 2. I'm just what the fuck?
Luckily, part 2 never came to exist.
Oh no, it exists!
No,
Is
it
part 2
doesn't.
completed?
No. As far as I know, it's not. I mean, it's possible that it's still alive or finished, but I read I saw that part 2 was up with 3 chapters and was just no, fuck this. I'm done wasting my time on this.
If it hadn't ended there and those 3 chapters were actually tacked on to the story that you read 500,000 words of, would you have?
Oh man, I probably would have. I have to be honest with you here. I likely would have. Anyway, so this is a Naruto Ruby cross called "What Is Expected of Me" by Azure Flame X1111 God.
13, Sneaky. It's 13. Come on. You played Kingdom Hearts.
No, I haven't.
You know what Roman numerals are.
I mean, yes, I know what Roman numerals are, but I choose to not read them that way.
Oh, okay, that doesn't mean that's not what it is. I can choose to read my bank account as not freaking empty. Doesn't mean it's gonna be that way.
I mean, technically, I still read it correctly. It's a shame. I expect you to obey her orders. Period. I expect you to be a pillar of support when she is downcast or discouraged. She'll need someone to keep her in high spirits. But I also expect you to keep her grounded in reality. I expect you to keep her safe while she is out there. I expect you to use anything necessary to keep her safe, your life as sacrifice not included. Understood? ? Adventure fantasy, Naruto times Whis. 13 chapters, 125,000 words. X1111 seems legit. I mean, you never know, man.
They could just be that stupid.
If I ever get the ability to name something, and name a product or something, I am absolutely doing X and then in normal, non-Roman numerals. Just to piss people off.
You could call it the Xbox X.
Leave this place.
You know, that's literally what they're calling it.
Oh, God.
That doesn't make me hate it any less.
Yeah, the new Xbox, the Xbox X.
Whirlpool of emotions.
Can I have a whirlpool of hatred?
Schnee!
No, that is not. I do not want Weiss Schnee in my whirlpool of hatred.
More like Xbox sex. Actually, according to Pornhub, the PS4 is used to beat meat way more than the Xbox is, like 3 times more.
Really?
And Overwatch is the most popular video game search by far.
Actually, Fortnite overtook that while Fortnite was down.
Wait, how does Fortnite have porn? They don't have any characters.
Look, I don't ask questions I don't want answers to.
Fortnite has models, like character models. That's enough, my friend.
I'm gonna look up some Fortnite Rule 34 right
Jesus
now and
fucking
we'll
Christ.
discuss.
Would not
And-
recommend.
I'm
And
not.
I think all the character models have names as well that the fandom gave them.
Probably.
And
Honestly,
company-
I wouldn't be
the
surprised.
company was just like, "All right, that's their names now."
Well, yeah, you come harder if you have a personal connection to her.
Why is she? Harris She Dust Company took a deep breath. She exhaled once her lungs filled. She repeated the action. Again. 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 Her shoulders were rigid. Spine straight as a pole. Fingers fidgety to the point of losing any semblance of grip on either hand.
Why are we going Monty Python and the Holy Grail in this for the narration?
Because that's how he read it. That's how I'm reading it, yeah.
I know, I'm asking why you're reading it like that.
I looked up Fortnite
I-
Rule 34 and the first thing I got was Gwen Stacy, so I don't know what the fuck is
I don't know. She needed to ease up, terribly so. She looked at her mirror. Observing herself in the mirror!
You know, I was in the bathroom, trying to think of a way to drown myself easily, but I couldn't, so I'm back.
Her white hair was combed flawlessly. No stray strand out of place. Her
Also, side note.
off-centered ponytail.
At some point, I would want to muss up Weiss's hair, just because I know it would infuriate her.
Honestly, I would like to take one of those static makers
Oh, Isley's here.
and just zap Weiss. And
Oh, yes. No, also, get a spray bottle every time she acts like she's got a stick up her ass. Just.
at least it's not to Blake, then it wouldn't be racist.
I have no comment.
Her off-centered ponytail was well cared for and decorated with a tiny tiara.
By the way, yes, that was always the most obnoxious thing about Weiss. She's like, I have a tiara.
Her pale, porcelain skin was not
Porcelain! Porcelain! Oh my god. Do you people see what I live with?
It's a good thing you don't actually live with him then.
Oh
You,
lord.
you've never met anybody who had porcelain
Yet.
skin?
If I actually lived with this sad excuse for a human being.
I feel like we would need to have some sort of setup. Max would need to be like in the fucking mastermind Wizard of Ozing this shit, where it's like 5 different cameras at that point, just showing everyone in the various rooms in the hallways. Because eventually I'm gonna say some stupid fucking thing that either Nosehair or Atin is gonna kick their door down for and sprint down the hallway. I would have to have like some sort of pneumatic steel drop door. I'm gonna have to fucking slam down.
You'll have a red button just wham! And it's just a supercut of just 6 hours of us violently beating on the door with sledgehammers and drills.
I don't know how, but it looks sneaky. It looks like Comcast has somehow fixed the internet. I'm
Oh.
sure it's going to go down in 30 minutes, though, because they're incompetent shitheads.
Probably.
Just for that, Max, it's 15.
Not an ad, could be an ad.
Hey, AT&T, you hear that? We'll insult Comcast for money.
I mean, it doesn't have to be AT&T that's paying us.
You're right. You're right. It could be Boost Mobile.
Or
Shit, man,
Verizon.
it could be fucking Windstream. Granted, Windstream are fucking shit. But...
I've been contacted by the maker of 7-Zip. He wants us to shit on Windows.
Done.
You'll insult anyone for money?
That's not true. We won't insult Bruce Lee for money.
Yeah, we will. Fuck Bruce Lee.
You might.
It really depends on the distance to the individual I'm insulting.
He wasn't
How
actually
far away?
too
I'll
large.
insult Jackie Chan for money as long as I'm
No
at
thanks,
least
that's why he
600
died.
miles away from him.
I require at least one state distance between me.
You know, I feel like Jackie Chan would probably just start throwing shit back. I don't think he'd get violent. I think he'd just throw shit back at you.
Probably,
Listen,
maybe.
If I reach a point in my life where Jackie Chan starts throwing shade, I have made it.
That's
Because
fair
that means
enough as
Jackie
well.
Chan has noticed what I said.
Notice me, senpai.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, Discord well, okay. I'm gonna disconnect super quick and get off my laptop.
Alright, you do that. Her porcelain skin was not marred with any dirt or other messes. Her piercing, snowy blue eyes quivered ever so slightly as she had... It really fucking says quivered.
Yeah, I know. By the way, this is starting to sound more and more like the intro with Batman. As I'm sure Isley can attest.
As she adjusted her collared bolero jacket, its pale blue design transitioned to a more vibrant, deep version at the sleeve. Well, sprinkled with small cuts that revealed the inner layer of white underneath like the petal-like sleeves.
Okay, Sneaky insulted anyone
Not yet, no.
instead of
Nope.
gone. Uh-oh.
I'll donate $10 if
No,
Sneaky spends the
Sneaky,
next
we will
hours
mute you. We will
on a
just...
violent anti-Semitic rage. Well, unfortunately, Jorp, $10 is not enough for that.
It's 20 now, motherfucker. Arn's gonna match it.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's not enough.
still not enough.
How much we need?
Well, enough that you're gonna basically be paying me for the rest of my life because I won't be able to get a job after that.
So based on what you're currently making, Arn, we're gonna have to bring this up to $40.
Ooh, ouch.
Well, you know what? I feel like I need to rebuke that statement. Statement rebuted.
Refuted! Refuted!
Okay, I'm sorry. What about
I've been
this? I'm
censored.
getting bits. Oh,
Jorp and Arn are trying to pay me to nuke my stream with an anti-Semitic rant. But I mean, the problem here is that I really don't have too many insults. For Jews. So they want me to do it for a whole hour. I'm just like I can't manage that. I'm not like some sort of ethno-nationalist that can just blame everything on the Jews.
But you could be.
I mean, I could be, but I'm not. Because I'm not, retarded.
this is. I don't know why Discord is being spotty on my end.
It's spotty on my end, too.
We'll build our own video server. Yeah, go do that, Jorp. I believe in you. So, anyway, I'm not going to bother reading the rest of it. Basically, the entire paragraph is just
it's
a
being
description.
pretty fucking spotty on my end, too.
No, I believe this is actually a manual issue on my end.
Okay, I'll be back.
Alright. You've called me a degenerate before. Okay? Well, that's not anti-Semitic.
What do you say? definitely not.
I see. First I was clever, now I'm personally offended. Oh no, Jorv, don't be like that.
Yeah, Sneaky's a terrible human being to everybody.
Anyway, the whites of a... Why was she tense? Her future for the next 4 years depended on her being at her utmost.
Okay, I hope this fixes it.
At her utmost? Does that actually work?
What? Is what a word?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's an... Okay, it's a noun.
I mean, it's technically not... like...
I mean, okay, so technically she is not, or he, I guess, yeah, he is not using the word incorrectly, but he is positioning the word incorrectly. I
I
guess.
was just say his grammatical structure is incorrect.
Birdie is correctly calling us out on this. It's well, no. The placement of the word is awkward. I'm not saying it's like 100% wrong, but it's very let's just say I've never seen a sentence worded like that. Nothing less than that was acceptable for what was to come. Her skin appeared to lack any elasticity despite looking so smooth. That's just a random fucking way to start a paragraph. The cold air of her white, blue tinted, grandiosely sized, and elegant room made the tiniest of hairs bristle.
What? Oh, I get it. They put the description in the middle when they should have just been like, room was cold, y'all.
Oh, okay. Comfortable the room may be, it was just unbearably cold to those not used to the climate of the continent.
No, see, they're mixing everything up.
Yeah.
Also doing a really poor job of making the Valhallan joke.
It's like that one author that Max was reading earlier. He was telling me about this one author who was like using phrases. He was like making up his own phrases for things. What was that one phrase? He told the truth as a sledgehammer through a drywall.
His truth was like a sledgehammer through a drywall. It's like
that's not how that works.
Tool for drywall. That is the perfect tool for drywall demo. You fucking dumbass.
You could have just been like a car through a wall.
Okay.
Like
Sneaky, just so you understand that, like, he puts in, like, at some point, I think it was like the look in her eyes was as frosty as winter's cold embrace. It's like, what?
As frosty as winter's cold embrace.
I'm just like, what are you doing? Also, for some reason, they seem to think that MMA matches go on for like 30 minutes at a time.
No,
because he's done. Okay, so here's the thing. Fight scenes between servants, they can take a while, because servants have like 100 times more stamina than a human.
Yeah.
They can take some time.
Yeah.
They don't usually.
No.
Usually it's
then
one servant
then he
waffle stomps the other.
Not well, half the time. Not usually, but half the time. But he decides to have two humans fight and it's like fast forward 30 minutes. Wow, they're really hanging in there. It's like they should be dead.
Yeah,
Pretty sure one of them died from exhaustion.
Like, look,
It's like,
I
that's-
appreciate you going above and beyond and saying humans could totally fight for that long. I mean, they can, don't get me wrong. But the issue there is that these guys are going for lethal blows, right? They're not just...
Presumably,
And
these
the- and the-
individuals are attempting to murder each other.
The murder
Okay, so
typically
in the
happens
end-
pretty
no.
quickly, actually.
No. So here's the thing. In the instance of these fights, they are supposed to be non-lethal, but straight up, they went for 30 minutes, and the amount of hits one character took is like, no, she should be dead. I don't care what you say. She is fighting a trained kickboxer
Yeah.
Oh,
with no martial arts
no,
training of her own,
no,
aside from she learned how to use a spear from Scathing. That's her martial arts experience. And she's unarmed.
Oh, I got really bad news for you.
No.
That person's dead.
Okay, look,
know.
so,
Look, I understand some people think, like, kickboxing is a joke. Kickboxing is not a joke.
okay, look, no, well, I mean, well, yes, no, it's a, see, the thing is with
I don't know
kicking,
who thinks kickboxing is a joke.
okay, no, well, no, the thing is with kicking, is that an untrained human kicking is a joke, a trained human kicking is very much not a joke.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, very much. And again, keep this in mind. They were going at it for 30 minutes or more. It's like,
Well, yeah, yes, Isley, humans survive really, a lot of really should be dead shit, yes, this is true, however, my point that I was going to make is, during my sordid history of youth, I ended up fighting.
You mean the one where... Do you mean the one where you worked for the cops? The one where you were a gang member? Or the one where you survived a gang war in your city?
We're not talking about any of that. Okay?
Oh, I think we should,
No,
but-
no.
That's a story for another time.
No, so, during my sordid history, I ended up fighting women. Not often or even uncommonly, or just very rarely. Rarely because usually women in these scenarios realized that they were not exactly punching in their weight class, I should say. Because I dropped them within like 2 or so punches. I'm not exactly proud of that, but it's...
SneakyDevil, woman puncher.
It is an example of, okay, maybe, not exactly the same level of sturdiness going around, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, this author can't be older than 16. There's no fucking way.
Well, yeah, it's like, if you look at, like, a normal... I mean, and MMA fighting is a fantastic example because that's the closest we get to real blood sports these days. Speaking of which, my platform for the 2030 elections, bring back blood sports.
Alright, yeah, sure. Let's go full Roman Empire on this shit. Let's get a gladiator ring going.
You can't tell me that wouldn't satisfy those liberal idiots.
I mean...
They're really just bloodthirsty lunatics, just like the rest of us, so...
Only if we also only selected presidents by making them all fight in the gladiator ring.
Absolutely. And by the way, I'll be the first to admit I will not be defending my title.
You'll take your 4 years, institute it, and then step down.
Yep,
All right,
I'll be
guys.
like, my work here is done.
New way to elect officials. They all have to beat each other to death.
Oh, come on. The Senate
that
would
for
be
every public
way more
Yes,
fun.
every public
C-SPAN
position.
would-
including the
C-SPAN
mailman.
would go
Yes.
from the most boring thing on the planet to actually entertaining.
If it's a government job, then you need to fight to the death for it.
I feel like we're going to be privatizing pretty quickly.
No,
Exactly.
Think
Well, no,
about
'cause
how much. think about how much faster the DMV will get. You gonna waste the time with somebody who murdered somebody for that pension?
Exactly. The person who gets these positions isn't gonna fuck around because they killed people for this.
Listen,
You
I killed
probably
a man
have
for this
also-
pension.
It's not just that though. If it's for every public position, you have to fight your coworkers for the death for that promotion.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, and then you have to have
Keep
the
saying this
yearly
stuff like
ballots
we're
as
gonna
well.
discover some kind of downside.
If you want to be promoted,
Yeah,
you have to throw down with your boss.
But your boss is under an obligation to try to keep you alive.
Yes.
Some fucked up shit.
Thank you.
But it would be effective.
You know what, Atin? That's how the orcs do it. Write that down.
That just went
Hold
right
on, I
into the
have to
book.
pull that Google Doc up.
We just lord.
Let me know when you guys want me to actually sit down and help you write shit out. Because
That is
still,
entirely dependent on Sneaky.
You know what?
you're still like 20% into the world building aspect.
I know. We have
Sneaky,
to do
did
so
we ever
much
actually have a
research.
Google Doc?
Oh yeah, we have a Google Doc.
Yes, you did. Do I need to go track it down for you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to exist for me.
Oh no.
That's not
Oh
good.
dear. No, it's not.
So anyway, her skin is super skin tight, and she was
I
Wait,
should
what?
really hope
What?
it is.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry?
her skin's very skin tight.
Otherwise, listen, that's some Dark Eldar stuff. Because remember, there was in fact a Dark Eldar who, as
Eldar.
a punishment for one of his subordinates attempting to betray him, he flayed him alive, kept him alive, and then made him wear his flesh as a suit.
Anyway, she was used to this cold, but not enough to handle along with her masked fear of the trial that lay ahead of her during the day. I mean, does she want to build a snowman or something? Because the cold never bothered her anyway.
No, she wanted to build a large icy murder man.
Ah, yes, of course. Lady Weiss!
Isley is a fan of the Dark Eldar.
Lady Weiss, an elderly man in a black butler suit with large belly, called from the door behind her. "You're terribly tense," he observed with panic. Wait, is the door open? Okay, I guess the door's open because he rushed to her side, whilst balancing a platter holding a teapot as well as a teacup filled with tea.
As
As-
opposed to a teacup filled with what? Vodka?
Scotch. Schrodinger's door.
Oh, no, Sneaky, I did find it. I did find
Good.
it.
Yep. Klein,
It's
I'm
not
fine.
very
I'm
good,
just relaxing. If that's what you call relaxing, then I'm on vacation, Lassie. You need to calm down.
Alright, Sneaky, so I'm going to put in here that the Orc tribes have a corporate ladder
Mhm.
based on violence.
Gladiator ring. Don't forget that
Right.
part.
Was it this doc?
Weiss,
Found it.
knowing the change of...
I have fewer things shared with me, that's how I found it.
What the fuck? Wait, Weiss, knowing the change of tone and personality, turned to her cake butler. Klein, she said his name in surprise. What? I'm not afraid to point out the truth, the butler said with obvious bluntness in his voice. Weiss shook her head. She was familiar with this behavior. Whenever there was something her butler disliked, the rude one came out to talk. However, it wasn't always true considering the main personality had a semblance of control in terms of keeping decorum as his role as a servant to House Schnee. So you're employing a multi-personality butler?
No, that's actually canon.
Is it canon?
Yes.
Yeah, Klein has. I think we've seen 3 personalities.
Yeah.
Each one seems to have its own eye color, so that might just straight up be a semblance.
When the fuck did we learn this?
During the
Four?
how do you say during the like 3 episodes she spent in her house, there was like the actual butler Klein.
Right.
There was Klein that was super nice to her.
I completely blocked the season 4 out of my brain.
And then there was one that was just an SAO ripoff. I wish that would have been a great joke, but no.
Talks with the SAO abridged Kirito voice.
I mean SAO Clyde, but
oh, I mean, again, but yeah, that's not as fun.
you're right. SAO abridged Kirito. Now there's a crossover I would read.
It's just a shame that
Just
he
starts
doesn't.
immediately insulting Beacon. Everyone at Beacon, all the teachers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, fucking,
Yeah.
he wakes, like, the Sal ends, and he's like, oh, finally, and then he just fucking pops into Beacon, like, the courtyard of Beacon, and he... Oh, fuck!
Yeah. That. Actually, you know what? I'd be fine with someone throwing some shade with that too. It's like, wait, isn't this like really old American-made anime that just kind of burned?
Massive shade throw. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm really hoping they continue it. I mean, they already released episode 1 or something, 1 and 2 of the next season.
Oh no, they are.
Yeah.
I'm part of their Patreon.
Hmm.
They're continuing it.
Okay, good.
They're currently working on the next episode. It's just as they've been doing more and more.
I know they've been escalating. Yeah.
So it's just that they're getting more and more complex visual gags.
The fucking math tree.
They have been escalating an unhealthy degree in that show. Gonna be honest, we all thought like the furthest they'd get was the dagger gag,
Honestly, yeah.
and then they went even further.
And they
It's like,
finished
okay,
it.
guys,
And it's like,
you
oh.
calm down. Well, no, like we thought the most complex it would get with editing and whatnot is like breaking that sword and it just landing through what's even that character's name? Dude that follows Osno around turns out to be Laughing Coffin.
Oh,
Whatever his name is, they changed the scene so he has the sword just right through him,
right, yeah.
through his head. I thought that was the most complex their editing would get.
The
I was
like,
proven
I did
wrong.
like that part where they're just like, nah, that guy's dead.
final
Oh, I'm
episode
dead.
is
He's
just like, hold my
losing
beer.
health. Oh, God. You know,
Anyway, there's a lot of pressure, I know this, facing off house knees automatons. Grandfather, wait. Are they automatons? Was that ever, like, clarified?
It
with
was never really clarified what in God's name that thing was besides a Kingdom Hearts boss.
What thing?
the fucking, haunted armor that Weiss fought.
Okay, in the manga, I can tell you for certain it was an automaton.
Okay, but the manga isn't actually
don't-
real.
Yeah, they've already told us the manga's not canon unless we say it is. Which, fuck off, guys. It's already better than the shit you wrote after Volume 4 onwards.
Significantly better.
But,
SAO
Which may be
Abridged
why they don't wanna
Kirito should have
canonize
had
yeah,
Kirito wake up.
I'm not sure what it's meant to be in the show. Presumably it is. Because the summons don't care if a thing was living or not. The summons care if, what was it, like, they're your greatest enemy for your main summon or some shit?
As far as I knew, you just had to kick its ass.
Yeah, that's all I know. Isley says it was Grim possessed, and that's what I thought as well. But I believe that's just Fanon.
That's just
Isley,
canon because it's
I'm
she
gonna need an
fights it in
actual
a
source.
concert hall.
Yeah, I'm gonna need an actual source for that, Isley.
They said it was a
No,
grim parasite that took over the statue. I mean, yes, I mean those things exist, but the problem is, it's just like they were so unspecific about that.
Well, they never specified it at all.
Knowing my father, all the stories of blah 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 are true. Blah. He's not dishonorable. He won't kill you. You're being pessimistic. Half of me wants to believe you, Klein. Blah blah blah. You have all the dust. Fucking. Oh my god. I hate what they did to Dust and Ruby. I hate that so much. Like, they went from Dust is the elements and shit to, oh, everything's a dust.
Is like natural forces.
It's
Okay.
scroll dust. It's
Well-
force field dust. It's missile dust.
The shark was not jumped until force field.
Okay. It is a type of Grim.
Oh,
It's a Geist type. In
yeah.
the manga, it was a bunch of specimens all cobbled together, apparently. But apparently it was created because Monty, Miles, and Carrie really wanted Weiss to fight a giant suit of armor in the trailer, in her original character trailer. And I'm sitting here like, guys, you literally could have just said it was like Atlas Tech SDC got their hands on. Didn't have to make it a Grim. But yeah, apparently it is a Grim. It is
Neat.
not possessing anything canonically. Unless the Geist types, unless that's how Geist types work. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I
Geist
gave
types
up.
Are like the thing they fought in Volume 4 that when it lost its limb, it grabbed a tree and it became a new arm.
It
how
has
they
a
work,
cool
is they
name
do
though.
that.
It's called the Arma Gigas.
I'm just saying.
That is okay. That's a Kingdom Hearts boss.
It is. It's called Weapon Giant in Latin. So
I'm just saying that they completely undermined the lethality of Geists with the newest season.
Oh, yeah. They used to be spooky.
did they?
Yeah,
What did
yeah.
they do in the new season?
Alright, so in season 4 they had Team Ranger, whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, I like the one in Volume 4. I thought the guys
Team
were super
diversity.
cool. that
Team
they-
Diversity Quota fought a Geist, and they had a hard time with it because it just kept replacing parts it lost, and they didn't know anything that could hurt it, and they ended up, they had to rip off its arms and then finally crack the mask or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Volume 4 when they originally fought it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like this was a very complicated thing for them to do. They had to have a high level of coordination for this, because if they fucked up a single part of it, it would just basically reset. And there's basically a quick time event to kill it. And in season, what are we on, 8 now?
7, I think.
Season 1 too many.
Season
Honestly,
fucking
look at the
killed it
bright
already?
side. Look at the bright side. If they weren't bullshitting us, even with them ignoring Monty's notes, they shouldn't get past season 9.
So anyway, season fuck this shit. They had the Atlas team basically dismantle it, and the danger of the Geist fight this time around was that it became a comedy routine, and they all had to run around and capture glowing purple rocks that fell off of it before they exploded, even though they were using kinetic force to get the purple rocks out of there in the first place. But whatever. Yeah, that part doesn't matter. And then the guy with the fishing hook fished the Geist out of the rock.
Oh, yeah. He had a fishing hook. Also, Crow's gay.
Oh yeah. Also, Crow's gay for that guy because
Yeah,
reasons.
I knew that one.
Because his semblance is good luck.
And I mean, yeah, I could understand the team beating up the Geist way easier than Team Ruby and showing the difference between the two teams and making this new Atlas team the new way to judge Ruby's scaling, because then later on in the seasons they'll show Ruby like doing something that the Atlas team can't do, and then all the fans will be able to go, oh, Team Ruby is now stronger than the Atlas team. But the problem with all of that is that they turn the fight from a fight where they could just show the Atlas team dismantling the Geist into a comedy sketch where the biggest threat
is dropping some purple rocks.
Yeah.
And if they had first of all, they don't explain why the Geist has purple rocks.
And then they don't even explain why the Geist is using explosives as armor. That's
Just an abandoned dust mine, I think.
well, yes, I understand that, Max, but why is it using like it? I'm not going to use dynamite as body armor. Like, that's just dumb.
We say that isn't how a blade of armor works, guys.
And the Geist isn't stupid. Like, it's reasonably intelligent enough to know that it needs to protect its face, to know that it can replenish its extremities and you can sacrifice them as needed, to know that it is being distracted on purpose and can react to distractions to protect itself still. And instead of breaking the mask on the Geist, they did this whole fucking thing where they fished it out and then killed it. And
Yeah, I know. As for using explosives as body armor, if I had made a ghost type thing, I'd make it so explosions don't work against it, which would be perfect, but they didn't explain that. So
well,
I'm left to
it's
assume
not
that
even
this
that.
thing-
Like, I could understand the explosions not working against the Geist itself in terms of, like, actually damaging the Geist. But,
No, I know, but
like, detonating the dust would destroy its body that it's been currently inhabiting, which would defeat the purpose of inhabiting a body of fucking rocks. Like,
Sneaky Arn wants a writing prompt.
you want a writing prompt for Harry Potter? All right, so this is gonna be a really hard one for you, Arn. But
Something
I think
with the Halloween feast.
I think you're up to the task. Harry Potter and the 650. Woo! All right, let's keep going. Blah blah blah. I have a bunch of dust for you. Fine line between legal and illegal. Specialty brew with the extra scotch. Stuffy comforter, blah, gunmetal, blah 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 blah. She's rich. Blah blah blah. It's mine, Esther. Blah blah blah. She's talking to the weapon. Blah blah. Hereditary semblance. She can't figure out how to do it. Blah 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 blah. And then I don't know what the fuck this is. Is this the song that played during her white opening? I don't know.
I would assume so.
Or is this some sort of aria, or it's some sort of I don't know, some bullshit. Who the fuck cares?
What's going on?
What is 650? Just type 650 into Google. Do they have dust? Yeah, they actually do have dust. It's a marble reality chant? Yeah.
Yeah, it appears to be something like that.
Basically, yeah.
It's nothing from the show. It's just the author being weird.
Yeah, you're gonna need more whiskey for this one.
But do you?
And she tried to kill Beowulf, and then she tried to resurrect Beowulf. And she thought really hard on it. and it didn't work.
Okay. I'm sorry. I now have a new shitpost for Fate Cross Ruby. Weiss kills a Beowulf, goes to summon the Beowulf,
Yeah.
accidentally gets the Fate Go version of Beowulf as a berserker.
10 out of 10.
Only good things can happen from that.
She was meant for finesse in combat, not for heavy hitting. She didn't like straining herself. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the barbarian beats the rogue every time.
I mean, that depends on whether or not the rogue can get sneak attack damage.
Well, no, because they're fighting one-on-one.
Well, see, that's the rogue's first problem.
Exactly. And that's my point here, is, again, there is no finesse position in fighting hordes of Grimm.
Yeah.
I'm going to rapier this Beowulf. Oh no, I am being attacked by its 20 pack mates. If only I had something more than a fucking rapier.
Feel like you're trying to say something.
No! Me? Try and imply things? I wouldn't do that.
No, Sneaky. It's even worse than that. She doesn't use a rapier. Her sister uses a rapier. She uses what is basically a foil.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
She uses a foil.
Honestly, why should have just been a pure mage? Like, just go full caster. That's your role in the team. No one else covers it. You don't need a...
Actually,
But,
yeah, no, based on the
but
dimensions, it's not even a foil,
Orpheus, there's already a mage character in the story. We can't have multiples.
Yes, I forgot. There's no such thing as different classifications of things like wizards
No,
and sorcerers.
duh.
My bad.
Everyone knows that if you have a character named Good Witch, she has to be the only magical showing character in the story.
God, I'm gonna be bothered by that now. Thanks for that, Orpheus. She's been using a foil this entire time.
You're welcome.
Wait, that's Orpheus? Yes, there's Orpheus in the background, chiming his sense in.
I'm
It's
sure she thought it
actually
was
equal sense.
me or Atin again.
Or nose hair.
No. She thinks that I'm Jorp for some reason.
Oh.
Uh,
Indeed. Lady Schnee, I have the dust. Schnee!
Stop that.
But Max, she's on the Schnee Mountain.
I could disconnect you from this call. I know
That
that's
won't
not much
stop
of a
him from
threat.
screaming, no.
No, but it will save us.
I just want
That's
everyone
true.
to know that Schnee Mountain exists.
Is
Max,
that
you
the
just
one
want to play
next to
Dark
Snake?
Souls?
I
It
haven't
will
gone
be
through the
less
single player-
painful.
I haven't gone through the single player stuff.
Okay, well, go do that.
Oh no.
But I'm waiting for Warframe to finish updating. I can fly the ship.
Schnee means snow
But
if you weren't a
stabbing.
werewolf.
I know that.
Yeah, so.
Her name is literally Snow White. Oh.
Oh wow! Nobody saw that fucking coming.
So clever.
It's white snow. And winter is snow. No.
Winter snow! Wow! So clever!
And then just her random French father.
Leave it to the fucking French to be in Germany. I gotta say, I really love the attention to detail that Rooster Teeth has done in making fantasy Germany as diverse as it is.
This is Kaiserreich Germany, where they have Central Africa.
Oh, right. I forgot. Leave it to the French to fuck up Germany. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I would just say leave it to the French to fuck up.
What? The French messed up?
Anyway,
That sounds like hyperbole.
no.
No.
The French never make mistakes except for World War II, World War One, and the Canadian-French War, and the War of 1812,
Well, no, to be
and
fair,
the Hundred Year War.
They didn't cause World War One. They had nothing to do with it. And the Maginot Line was a great idea. And then the Germans introduced an entirely new style of warfare.
Yo, remember when they decided to also stick their fingers into the American Civil War for some reason?
That was weird.
Oh, no, they had a very good reason for that. We said, hey, you want to stick it to the English? And the French were like, yes.
I
Yes.
said the Civil War.
Well, I mean, the whole point of that
Wait,
was Napoleon was
are you
like,
sure?
Yeah,
When did
no,
the French-
no,
I
dude.
know the British
The
were going to interfere
the
with the
French
Civil
got
War.
involved in the Civil War. Look, all the wars America has been involved in have been fucking weird as hell, okay?
No, I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way. I'm just saying I had no idea. I knew the English stuck their fingers in.
yeah, it's Napoleon's, I think, brother cousin was the king of Mexico at the time. So he had Mexico as a puppet. He was trying to make
Also,
sure.
I'm sorry, just a side note. Napoleon's brother cousin.
I don't remember if it was his brother or his cousin. It might have been both. You know,
He's
it's the French.
from Alabama.
It is the French. I also want to say the French have
Original
fucked
Alabama.
their way in Canada.
I think it was Napoleon's nephew that was like, yo, you guys want some guns?
The French have fucked their way in Canada so, like, interconnected that they share with the Jews, another group of people that like fucking each other exclusively. They share with the Jews, the French Canadians, 13 diseases in the world that only those two groups get.
Isley, there was very limited involvement from some members of the French in the Civil War. I think on the side of the Confederacy.
Again, like I said, remember that Stone Toss comic where it shows the guy pulling on the rope, and then he turns to the person who's also pulling on the rope with him, and then he looks at the people he's pulling it on the rope from, and he's like, wait a second, what the fuck is going on? That was the American Civil War.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, so two men looked at each other, and they were both haggard, ragged, and driven, shaky, and fatigued. They pushed each other to their utmost limit, and they cared for little else, because all they cared about was gaining victory. One wanted to kill one, the other didn't.
Well,
One bore hair as black as a raven's ass.
no, you added something there.
Are you certain?
Yes.
What the fuck? DE, this is not what I signed up for.
His hair was
That means
done.
you don't play
It's fucking Sasuke, and the other bore hair that was golden blonde, fashioned into spikes. Now there's a hairstyle I want to see from Naruto. The fucking punk rock spike.
Alright, look, all I'm saying is Naruto with a mohawk.
Just fucking headbutts people. Stabs them with his hair.
Secret ninja art! Hair stab!
That was a thing that Jiraiya did.
Yes.
It's an actual
Yes, I
thing.
know. That's why I said it.
It's apparently super powerful, and yet it's never expanded on.
All anime
fucking
protagonists
because Jiraiya
naturally
is
have
dead.
this ability.
Which, incidentally, that was what made me stop watching. When they killed her, I was like, nope, I'm out.
To be fair, if Jump let Kishimoto have his way, you would have finished at like the 90% mark of Naruto being.
Yeah, I know.
And then they didn't.
And then they didn't, and then it went to shit. And now Boruto is a thing.
I still like that you could see the exact week they told him, "Yo, man, wrap this up in
Oh,
like 2
I do
months."
love that Boruto is getting a V2. Like we are entering levels of fanfiction meme that I didn't think was going to happen in a published series.
Look,
It's
Boruto literally
fantastic
has...
because they're like, okay, nobody cares about Boruto. Send him back in time.
V2.
Send him back in time.
I'm just saying, like, the manga was actually trash.
And I'm just saying, Boruto's literally fanfiction, and it's literally getting a V2, guys. I'm serious this time.
It's just so bad.
Does that mean all the rest of Boruto is going to get retcons? Or is it
Yes.
still canon? Oh,
Yeah.
yes?
Yeah.
Let's put someone that actually knows what they're doing in charge.
No.
No?
No. Anyway, so it's Naruto. It's fucking a Naruto. Rewrite will definitely not be abandoned, guys. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really
Please be
feeling
abandoned.
I'm really feeling those vibes from Boruto V2. Oh my god, it is literally, we are entering fanfiction tier tropes. Blah blah blah, signs of fatigue, it's Naruto. It's Naruto, they're fighting. Naruto and Sasuke are fighting. It's the Valley of the End, the first fight in the first version of Naruto. And blah blah blah, we're gonna beat each other into the ground, blah blah, war of attrition, they were shinobi and they were powerful, and they're punching, blocking, dodging, and parrying. They're punching each other, they're hitting each other, and the blonde sent a right to his opponent's chin. The way the author describes that, it's just like, B5? You know, if we're playing Battleship.
Yes.
Makes sense to me.
Look, clearly this is a wannabe romance author
Straight-
writing an
Sneaky,
action adventure.
Straight cross to C7. What's next? Lightning Lariat to A3?
I was gonna say E2 because everyone always puts something at E2.
Everybody did. That was why I never... I remember I once beat my brother. I took up the 4 cardinal corners.
No one ever guesses the corners, and it's weird.
But, like, I was just like, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. And then I just threw some of them in the middle. And it's like, how? Where were they? I just spun it around, and he just slammed it shut in frustration.
Fuck you. Yeah, pretty much. And they flailed at each other with bone-breaking fists. Well, now it just sounds like a Pokemon battle at the Elite Four where you've both run out of PP.
You don't flail at someone
Struggle!
with bone-breaking
Struggle!
force.
Struggle! Struggle! The never-ending loop of reasons to why they continued to push each other to this point. The raven-haired man succeeded in the struggle. His weight pinned down the weak opponent. He lifted his right arm while he grasped the blonde's neck with a tight grip. With a hammering force, repeated punches battered the blonde's face like a jilted lover. Each punch delivered was given the grunt of frustration and anger, while the blonde's head steadily went lower and lower into the hard ground. Wait, I thought he was lifting him up.
He's lifting him up just so that he can tear him down.
Apparently. One could surmise the blonde's face was caved in on one side. However, the blonde's durability was
and how
far
would you
beyond a
surmise that,
human.
huh? Could it be the punches that are literally shattering Earth? Could it be the fact that he's getting punched into a crater?
He was infamous for that and his unpredictability, which a normal man would have died, but he was Naruto and therefore was not dead. And the blonde made his move when his opponent telegraphed his next punch, as opposed to the previous punches that were hammering him into the ground. This one was obvious.
Yes, because ninjas are absolutely trained to telegraph their movements. It's not like they're trained to quietly murder people.
Well, we all know that ninjas aren't ninjas in Naruto. They're just really flashy assassins that call themselves
say,
ninjas.
They are battle mages.
They are fabulous
All that
assassins.
They are battle mages who took a class in gay.
Wow. Okay. Listen, if that was the case, we would have seen robes way cooler than the Akatsuki's.
No, see, they all skipped that class. That's why they were all murder hobos.
The Akatsuki's are the only one who went to the cool robe class.
I mean, Minato caught like the last half of it. That's why he wears a trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
No, see, that was from the how to make an edgelord look good class.
Yes. How to not be edgy but still totally edgy.
How to wear a trench coat and not be an edgelord. There's a class for it.
And then a sickening crunch was heard after the punch struck at the other's ribs. Whose punch? Is Naruto's punch? Sasuke's punch?
Someone got punched.
A follow-up occurred with the next one aimed for the face. The blonde watched with satisfaction that his attack had an effect. What attack? What attack is he making? The one with the face? So the author is trying to be purple prosy as shit, and we can all tell that he has no fucking idea what he's doing with it, though, because yes, I am drunk-ish. I mean, I've only...
Ish, huh?
That's a lot more whiskey than I thought was gone. Is gone. Okay, I will caveat this with I am a wee tad inebriated.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit.
Just tiny smash, yeah.
Enough to call yourself inebriated, at least.
One could theorize that, yes. I'm just a wee tad inebriated, Lottie. You gotta give me a break.
No breaks. Not for you.
His victim was vulnerable, and instead of taking the advantage for himself, he kicked his opponent away. What does it take to make you die, Naruto? How many bones must I break? How many organs must I render useless? How long must I fight you to put an end to this? Everything, Sasuke. It takes everything. What are you, a fucking WoW dialogue?
Hey, come on. The original version of, come on, edgelord, Illidan was not that bad.
No, you're thinking of Gul'dan and the blood sacrifice.
Oh yes. I mean that's still. Don't get me wrong. That was pretty edgy, but it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. I did like the reference they put in Legion, in High Mountain.
I didn't play Dude, I haven't touched it since.
So basically, they had Burning Crusade V2 happen?
No, I know what Legion was. I just didn't do any. I just played.
There was a zone called High Mountain, and there was a Tauren clan there, and you were investigating a disappearance of some guy, and this one, Tauren clan that was totally suspicious. And as you're walking to go meet the war chief, there's two NPCs that are just like, NPC one's like, to take on this blood, you must be willing to sacrifice. It's like, what do I have to sacrifice for this power? And then they shout everything. You must sacrifice everything. And then it just has the other NPC calmly go, ah, yes, I see. Well, that is a reasonable exchange. Like they made a little bit of fun of it, and it's just like, okay, that's sort of funny, but yeah, Anyway, so Sasuke screams and Naruto screams. And they run at each other screaming with balls of power in their hands.
Tale as old as time.
Two men screaming at each other as they charge with their balls in their hands.
Far older than I'd like it to be.
Fair enough. Weiss, blah blah blah, Icy White, blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Ho hum, blah blah blah. Weiss is blah blah blahing, blah blah. Mechanical door. Why is the door mechanical? Precaution, of course, because reasons. And then the door opened, and Weiss went inside. Weiss, it's not too late to turn around. I don't mind if you turn around. Our automatons are quite formidable. I'm afraid your friends will find my desktop quite operational. Weiss resisted giving a glare at him, blah blah, blah blah, blah blah. The man implies our father is a tyrant. I believe he is doing what benefits the family. And how does that benefit me, brother? Well, fuck you, Weiss. You're just a dumb cunt. Your points are valid, Whitley. I find them insufficient. Are you saying the kingdom can't offer what Vale can? Is Atlas that terrible, Weiss? No. Then why? Because I hate you, father. I hate you so much. I'm gonna go join the Sith. You can't stop me. I respect your choice, Weiss. Blah blah blah. Yes, I'll keep the Schnee family with my achievements. Blah blah. Can we do this now? And then Jack Keys sat there and proceeded to give the readers a narrative with a random point of view switch. And he's like, ah yes, capturing Weiss is like reeling in an ornery fish. And you just gotta let the line slack and then reel it in, and let the line slack and reel it in. It was obvious that he was a fisherman, and that she was the fish.
Alright then.
Okay. He would never forget the veiled disrespect, and this was the perfect way to not forget it. Fine. Can I activate the automatons? Klein was alarmed. Well, may I? Klein found he couldn't refuse Jaquiz, so he allowed Jaquiz to activate the automatons. And obviously they weren't uniform, and so Jaquiz actually picked the strongest automaton for Weiss to fight. And then some sort of really cool mecha scene, basically, where giant clockwork gears did gear things, and a sword came out, and the automaton grabbed the sword, and it was basically Excalibur from Fate Stay Night.
Mm.
And it was a very ornate giant metal automaton that had gold and silver inlays, and it was very fancy looking and very very ostentatious and blah blah. Well, Weiss, are you ready to face one of Arthur Knight's automatons?
Why are we still doing this?
Apparently, the Schnee family just owns an automaton modeled and named after Britain's round table. Even
For
though,
some
Why
reason.
not?
even though Britain doesn't exist.
Yeah, sure, why not?
But you know, hey, maybe it's one of those uninhabited islands. Maybe Britain said, "Fuck you guys, we're going our own way," and then the Grimm ate them. Who knows? The world may never know. So anyway, Weiss tries to fight the thing, and then Weiss was totally in on the fight. She was ready for this, and she's preparing for it, and then she attacks the thing, and then it attacks back, and then she attacks it, and then it attacks back, and then she tried to cast Lightning Bolt, and it didn't work because she missed, and then she was out of
Well, I
Lightning
mean,
Bolt.
technically, Sneaky, it worked. She just missed.
Britain is only partially translated into Remnant. They have yet to cede from the EU, however, and are partially trapped in our reality. Yes. Every 10 years, the four nations get together, and a randomly selected peasantry marches forth before them and asks, on behalf of Britain, to have an extension to their Article 50 enactment. And
you've seen the 40K joke about that, right?
Yes. And then she used gravity dust, and then she used gust dust, and then she used fly dust, and then she used burn dust, and then she used blaze dust.
Is dust just like Pokemon moves now?
Yes.
Yeah, and then she used dig dust. And then her freeze dust was empty, because she tried to cast Ice Beam, and that didn't work either. And she got backhanded by a Goliath-sized automaton, and she was fine though because she was Weiss. And then she tried to use her gust again, but it turns out that light breezes don't really affect heavy metal automatons. And then she ran out of that dust too. And her goal was to immobilize the strongest and heftiest portion of the armor. Because if she could do that, she won. Because reasons?
Yes, reasons.
And then she got bitch slapped again, and then she hit a wall and slid down it. But it was okay. She had aura. She used her rapier as a cane. It's not a rapier, as Orpheus had pointed out. It's a foil. Her arms were dragged down by the thoughts of doubt, as if they were being attacked by gravity dust. And then she sprinkled more gravity dust on herself. So, were they being dragged down by gravity dust earlier then?
I don't know.
Only Atlas battleships used gravity dust. Nothing else in the world used gravity dust.
Amity Coliseum.
Nope. No, nothing else uses gravity dust. Only gravity dust is used in battleships for Atlas.
Ruby Chibi.
Nope, only Atlas battleships.
I like that you're trying to just change a narrative.
No, literally, gravity dust was solely
for
used.
the author's sake.
What do you mean?
No, gravity dust was used for the Amity Coliseum for certain. That was.
I know it was. I'm just saying that the author has declared that gravity dust was solely used by Helios-class battleships of Atlas.
No, I know. I said I appreciate you. I appreciate you changing the narrative for the author's sake.
Oh, okay. Yes. Nothing else used gravity dust. It was unique to Atlas, and Atlas also has trademarked force field dust, laser dust, missile dust, dust, and undust dust.
The patents are
Sneaky.
pending for Grim Dust.
When do we get Space Marine dust?
I believe they're working on that now.
You throw it and it just manifests a random Space Marine. There's a 1% chance that you got a bad batch and it's a Chaos Marine.
So,
What's the chance that it's Doom Guy?
I would say very low.
Oh, you say that's the chance you got a perfect batch, also 1%.
Anyway, so she tries to yeet the Goliath automaton, and it turns out that doesn't work either. And the automaton loomed over her as she paralyzed herself in shock. Was she a fucking Pokemon?
We've established that.
It reached for its sword and stabbed it in front of her. Do you still wish to fight? It asked. And it analyzed her body responses for a possible response. And it recognized her subtle struggling as a yes. Struggle detected, resuming combat mode, and then it was like time to smush someone. And then Weiss snapped herself out of confusion and proceeded to attack again. A golden shower erupted from her. Oh wait, no, golden sphere erupted from her above a glyph, and it blinded everyone. Lancelot tried to stab her, but it missed. It was a heavily wounded young man, or possibly a faunus. He had a whiskered face, and he was bloody, and with a hole in his heart. And no arms. What the fuck? Okay, author. So she screams yeet and accidentally summons Naruto, who in this AU was de-armed.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, everyone was speechless. Even the automaton was speechless. And didn't know how to react.
It had never spoken at all, ever, in any timeline.
It was working up to it.
And then Naruto starts speaking Japanese. And everyone's like, what the fuck is this language? And then he says a bunch of Japanese. And then Naruto was like, wow, what the fuck's going on? Oh shit, that's a big ass machine thing. And he's like, Kurama, you got any chakra? And Kurama's like, I find it odd that you're not concerned about how you've appeared in this location. But yes, I have chakra. We're gonna need to use chakra, Kurama, especially the Rasengan. We need to fight the Susanoo. I think something along defensive capabilities of it. If we're doing all this, I'll be forced to sleep for a few days. No worries. Something tells me we're gonna live through this. Okay, let's do it, Naruto, and let's go save the girl in front of you, too. Weiss looked at the young man. His expressions changed. He had an internal conversation with himself. He kicked off the ground and grew arms, and then had a giant ball in his hand. And he started to punch Lancelot with his orange arms. That glow around him is aura, right? Then why did he lose limbs if he still has aura? So Naruto's fighting the giant machine now. And he uses the Rasengan, and Weiss was like, wow, the Rasengan is an amazing piece of art. It is bending air. And then he hits Lancelot with the Rasengan, and it explodes. Naruto's bleeding profusely, but he's totally cool with this because he's happy he helped Weiss. And Weiss didn't understand anything he said, but she did understand that she summoned him. Klein, call for an ambulance. And that is the end of that chapter. So it was a bunch of canon-ish rehashing mixed in with some disturbing AU levels. And then topped off with Weiss accidentally summoning Naruto somehow through dimensions without intending to summon anything.
Yep.
You know what? It is 8:30. This has sucked the life out of me. So
Very much so. I am more depressed than I usually am.
the Vietnam War.
What?
Yeah. So you know what? I think we're gonna call it a night here.
Also, yes, of course, Golden Shower was what refocused Ice Lake.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll be back next Tuesday.
We apologize
Same
for
time,
the short
same
streams
place.
this week, folks. One of them just ended early naturally. The other one, we're just dead.
Which dead inside. This story has just been a toll on my soul.
I told you it was bad.
Yeah, you did.
Alright, but there's a difference between this is bad and wow, this is just trash.
I would love to help
I
you,
said
Arn.
I couldn't even get through the first chapter.
I would love to help you, right, Arn? But I believe I have drunk myself to the point where I start getting tired. So I am tired now. So I think I'm going to go pass out. Yes, that's definitely what's going to occur. Alright, well, I'll catch you guys next time because there is always more and it always gets worse.